Hey everyone, it's teacher Angela here with Vipkid, and I am doing an update to my Honest Pro Con video that I released a few months ago. I want to clarify some things and share some updates. So let's jump right in. The 3 cons that I talked about were the raise requirement and my experience with it, the cancellation policy and my experience with it, and the time difference. So let's jump right into the raise requirement. I have heard rumors, these are unsubstantiated rumors, that some teachers got surveys a few months ago asking about the raise requirements and getting their feedback. So that's good, but other than that, nothing has really changed. However, I'm still here. I actually just celebrated my 3rd year anniversary with Vipkid, and my base rate has still not changed. I want to clarify what I mentioned in my other video about Vipkid using my picture, because I totally signed a form saying, yes, I will participate in your photo shoot and your promo stuff. Absolutely, I'm happy to. This was in my first contract before I signed my next contract, and I was honored, and I did sign it, and they still use it, and I love that. My issue was, when I was hired, at my low base rate, my interviewer said, you can prove yourself, and when you sign your next contract, get a raise. Well, they changed the requirements during that time. So when I went to sign my new contract and said, what about a raise? You know, things have gone great. You brought me to Beijing. You use my picture to show parents what our teachers are like. So I don't want to be at the super low base rate anymore. And they said, sorry, you don't meet the raise requirements. And that kind of sucked because I felt like they were showing my face as an example of a good teacher, but paying me as a very inexperienced teacher. Anyways, that's okay because Vipkid offers a lot of opportunities to make money in other ways. So even at my low base rate, I still average about 22 an hour when I teach because I optimize the way that I teach. So I only teach short notice, which means I don't open anything in advance, more than like 12 hours in advance. Like tonight at 9 or 10, if I want to teach in the morning, I'll open the slots and then I get an extra $2 per class, which is an extra $4 per hour, right? And because I teach a lot of short notice, I get a lot of trial students who are just trying out Vipkid. And if they do end up signing up after my class, I get an extra $5 for that class. So I'm able to optimize my earning anyways, and it's totally worth it. And I also spend a lot of my time doing recruiting also because Vipkid has put it out there over and over again that they want their teachers to help others get hired. They have this huge demand for teachers. So I decided to put my time and efforts there. And it's paid off for me because they do pay pretty well for referrals. So even at low base rates, you can optimize your teaching and earn great money. The second con I talked about was the financial penalty for cancellations. This hasn't changed, but if you'll read the comments of my other video and ask any Vipkid teacher, this really isn't a problem for most because if an emergency comes up where you're in a situation that you would get that deduction, you can provide documentation saying, I had an emergency, and then you won't be deducted, and it won't go on your record. And most teachers never have a problem with the cancellation policy. And even if something comes up that isn't an emergency, like my kid getting sick but doesn't really need to go to the doctor, Vipkid gives you 6 cancellations per contract, per 6 months, for those situations. And things come up and I've had to cancel, and that's okay. But another really cool thing that Vipkid just did was release the calendar sync feature. So you can sync your Vipkid schedule with like your Apple Calendar or your Google Calendar, because a lot of teachers are like, well, I got booked overnight and I was new and I didn't understand. I got a teacher no-show and the minus $10. Now you can sync your calendar so you can get alerts all day for your classes. And if your schedule is kind of unpredictable like mine, and my little kid has some issues and gets sick a lot, this is why the short notice feature exists. I only teach short notice because I just don't know how much I'm going to be able to teach. So I don't open my classes in advance anymore because something could come up and I don't want to get hit with that cancellation. So the cancellation policy is strict, but with over 100,000 teachers now, they just can't afford to be the manpower and the rearranging of schedules like this. It's hard. I get that. So I don't love it, but I understand it, and it's not worth not doing. The third con I talked about was the time difference. And I do have some bad news about this. Keep in mind, this video was filmed in December of 2019, and the law was just changed in California restricting independent contractors' work, which means right now, Vipkid is not hiring in California. Legislation changes all the time, and if California flip-flops on this and changes their mind or amends things, maybe they'll start again. Again, keep in mind when this video was filmed, and you might need to do a Google search and check the news, see if things have changed. I bring that up because part of the con of the time difference was in California and in the West Coast It's really hard. The time difference with China means that your prime time to teach is really early, like 3, 4 in the morning. So anyway, follow up on the California thing. That could change, it could not. I don't know. But something really cool that's happened since my last video is VIP Kid invited a lot of teachers to be exclusive teachers to Korean students. They're opening in Korea and they're opening in other countries. And the good news is that could mean expanded hours someday if they go into different countries with different time zones. So that's good. Things are always changing with VIP Kid, and that's actually one of the good things. So when we talk about the pros, when I talk about my pros, the list far outweighs the cons. Every job has its cons. No job is perfect, but I still hold that VIP Kid is about as close as it gets because of the flexibility. Like I said, I can teach short notice whenever I want. I can teach all night if I want to earn more money. The amount I earn is in my hands, and I love that. And the pay is still great for not having to drive and no commute, no childcare. It's fantastic income. And like I've said, so much has changed since my last video. I talked about the teacher happiness team, and it's now called the Teacher Voice team. They have a teacher advocacy Facebook account where if teachers are having a hard time, maybe they do have an emergency, they really need to get their message across, maybe there's a communication barrier in the tickets, there's a whole team on Facebook that will advocate for you and help get your problem solved. And that's awesome. VIP Kid really does care about their teachers. Another pro for me is the travel experiences. Just in 2019, I've gone to the headquarters in San Francisco, I've gone to Chicago. I don't know if you know about Journey. VIP Kid hosts these regional conferences all over the United States. They went to Las Vegas this year, Washington, D.C., and it gives teachers the opportunity to meet other teachers and hear keynote speakers and meet some of the staff from Beijing and San Francisco. So the opportunity to travel and connect is awesome. And speaking of connecting, the relationships. Since I started with VIP Kid, I've met some of my best friends. I don't think a day has gone by this year that I haven't talked with Nancy and Tina and Aaron and Sammy and Jennifer. And it's not just about VIP Kid stuff. When you meet people with common interests like that, you realize you have more in common with our lifestyles and our kids and our families and our values. And so they've become some of my super close friends outside of work. And not just them, but a lot of teachers, even that I've helped in the hiring process. It's been like over a year, more than 2 years, and we still talk and how are things are going and this happened. And I love that. I love the relationships I've built. And not only with teachers, but with students. I have WeChat, so I'm able to keep in touch with some of my students and see where they're at in life and what they're doing and what's going on with their parents. And it's awesome to be connected to these families on the other side of the world. Not to mention this job is a super rewarding job. For being able to work from home, I get that more and more companies are allowing remote work, and that's awesome. And I'm not really a sales marketing type person. I don't want to hit up my friends for stuff and do the party thing. I want the company to pay me, and I want to help other people get paid from the company, and that's it. And that's what I really love about VIP Kid. It's that you can work from home and you're making a legitimate difference in the lives of these students, and you're building super valuable skills. And that's another one of the pros, is that technology is everywhere, and it's coming into not only the private education sector, but the public sector. And the skills that we are learning as VIP Kid teachers, these online skills, are valuable, and they're only going to get more valuable as time and technology progresses. So there you have it. My update to my Honest Pro-Con video. Some things have changed, some things have not changed. I'm still here, 3+ years and going, and very happy to be here. I will say that if you are exploring the idea of VIP Kid and watch any other videos, things have changed with the referral process. You have to sign up from the beginning. So my link is below. It doesn't take long to fill out the application. Then you can do the smart demo like in the next 5 minutes, and then you're at the mock class phase. So there you have it. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear your feedback. What are your pro-cons of VIP Kid? Do you have any questions? It'd be awesome to share more insight for people who are considering the job, to get an idea of what it's like teaching with VIP Kid and what the company is like. Again, I appreciate everyone who subscribes and gives me feedback, and as always, happy teaching.